Well, good morning, everyone. So today is Monday morning, and I figured I would jump on and give you a little peek inside what happens here on a Monday morning. So my weekend sales were fairly good, and I wanted to show you what kind of items I'm shipping out, what's been selling. Now, let me just back up and say, last week was probably my all-time slowest selling week ever. I had 3 days of like non-existent sales. It was like I fell off a cliff. My store fell off a cliff. Somebody fell off a cliff. And I did wind up giving eBay a call because there's kind of like rumor, some people think it's true, some people don't, that eBay, if you call them, if your sales are really slow or movement in your store is really slow, that they can refresh your store. I've been told yes and I've been told no, but I did give them a call and they gave me the regular, the regular spiel that the employees are taught to give, that, oh, you should offer free shipping. Well, with items that weigh sometimes over 10 pounds, that would not make sense for my store. But today I am shipping out probably 20 something items, which, like I said, a little bit slow for me, but I'll take it. So these sales are from Friday, probably about 10 or 11 a.m. through Sunday night. I might even have one that sold this morning meaning like 8 o'clock. A few of them might be from after 12 o'clock, if all of that makes sense. And I have a surprise guest at the end of the video who I've talked about but have never introduced you to. So let's get started. Let's see what's sold, what I'm shipping out, and go from there. All right, guys, so these are my packages going out on a Monday morning. Sales are still a little slow, but very grateful. And Bob is just here scanning my packages in. This is how we ship. USPS, my local post office, is great. They come to my house 5 days a week and scan my packages right at the door. Doing an excellent job. How long have you worked for USPS, Bob?
22 years now.
Oh my gosh. So you must be retiring soon.
No. 8 more years.
Oh, wow. Really?
That's how long you got me.
Oh my God. Great. Great. Yeah, excellent service. I will take you that many years. That's if I'm here that many years. That is what this looks like. You guys know you can schedule a pickup with USPS. You can go right on their site and schedule each day, or you can check with your postmaster to see if you can get automatic pickup if you are shipping out enough packages to make it worth it for them to send a truck. So most days it's worth it. It has been a little slow. We were slow. When were we slow last week?
You're always busy.
Yeah. Not always. Last week, I think I had 3 days with like 2 sales. It was crazy. I have never been that slow. So, and for those of you wondering,
Slow days are okay sometimes, you know.
yeah, I say that. Some mornings I get up, I say, oh, thank God. Thank you so much. So this is the truck outside my door. Look how blessed I am. Backs up right in my house and takes my packages. So this is what we're shipping out this morning. I'm going to do a share on the screen to show you guys what's in these boxes. So you can see, and yep, lots of breakables. I always say to myself, I'm not going to pick up any more breakables, and I do. Can't help myself. This morning we have a Christmas tree going out. We have all kinds of craziness. So look how good this service is. Do you love it? Okay, I know I'm bragging. Let me just pick up my IKEA bag. We own about 10 of these IKEA bags. I'm sure you guys all know about these bags. They have been with me and they look it for a very long time. Okay, and if you guys want, you can all say hi to Bob in the comments down below. Excellent service. Thank you so much.
See ya.
So the first item that I'm going to show is a pair of men's Sperry Docksiders. They're loafers, leather. Most shoes that I find I'm paying between somewhere around $4 to $8 in a thrift store. And I think all of the items that I'm going to show today, I did find at a thrift store, one or the other. So mainly the thrift stores I go to are Goodwill, Community Aid, and a few smaller ones. You know, kind of, I call them charity shops or mom and pop stores. So that's where I sourced the items, and although I won't be saying exactly how much I paid for each item, I will give you an idea of what I paid, and we'll look at what it sold for. So the Sperry sold for $25.02. When you see a weird ending to my sales in the dollar amount like 55 or 02 in this case, that means that I was running a percentage off sale in my store, which I do a new sale every 48 hours. That's how I promote my items. Now, I do send offers once in a while, but I really don't have time to send offers as often as I'd like. So I do run sales, and that works out better for me. So the Sperry's, you can figure I paid somewhere between $6 and $8. The next item was an item that I found recently. It is a set of cassette tapes, new in package. Now the package was a little bit damaged, but these are an audio King James Version New Testament being read. And when I find these, I pick these up all the time. I find cassettes do really well. Yep, people still have cassette players in their car or their portable ones, or even at home in their stereo decks. So this brought $19.49, and I believe I paid $1.99 for them. Next up is Ruby Road. It was a 2X, beautiful sparkle sweater. Yep, I'll pick up Ruby Road, even though it's not a high-end brand. I like Ruby Road for some of their items. Almost always I pick up plus sizes. This one sold for $14.30, and I believe I paid $2. Next up, I've had this t-shirt forever, which most of the times doesn't bother me. It's not like I'm looking at it. All of my items are packed away in my inventory system, which I've shown many times. This was a men's Star Trek graphic tee, $9.97, and I can't tell you what I paid for this. I'm gonna guess I paid about $2.50. So not a great profit, and if you're a quick flip seller, you wouldn't want to have sold this. But sometimes I can have items for a year or two, and I still consider this a good profit. If I can turn $2.50 into $10, now the $10 is gross. It's not after the fees, which on eBay right now, I think we're running about 14%. And my buyer always pays shipping, almost always. So not a bad profit, but not something you're going to become rich on. Next up is a beautiful vintage vase that I found. I don't remember where I found this one. This was either from a flea market or a thrift store. $57.20, and I don't know, this was H&C Heinrich and Company. And I chose it because it had clean, classic, mid-century modern lines, and the buyer paid shipping. And I'm gonna say I think I paid $4 for this. Next up was Florence Ceramics. They put out lots of beautiful, I don't know whether we call these figurines or statues, but I picked up this one. I found her in Goodwill. I believe I paid $2.99 for her, and she brought $24.70. This next item was a lot of vintage children's books. Now, I don't pick up a lot of books. You know, the whole Amazon book thing, to me seems a little daunting. And you would think that's a crazy thing for me to say because I, saw chandeliers and big crazy things. Recently, I showed a children's tent set up in my living room, a little teepee. So why would books bother me? I feel like the scanning of books is a little bit more than I want to do. I don't like to do the same repetitive action out in the thrift store. I'm more interested in finding treasure and the fun things that excite me. I don't know that books would excite me enough to go down that road, and I'm sure I'm leaving a lot of profit on the table. But for me in this business, going on year 8, or I guess I should say I'm in year 8, I have to be excited about what I'm doing. So, yeah, that's the reasoning there. But I did pick up these children's books. The graphics on the cover caught my attention. They sold for $27.62, and my buyer pays shipping, and I shipped them out medium out. Next up is Lebanon Supply Company. This was a large salad bowl, a wood salad bowl with, I think it had 6 little salad bowls, and it brought $18.52. Now the reason that brought a lower dollar amount than what my items normally bring of this type, I'm going to say salad bowls and with the little set, is because this had tape damage. Goodwill, you know, if you're listening, please stop using the heavy-duty sticky tape, especially on like painted items, vintage items, because you go to peel the tape off and it kills the finish. But I think masking tape would probably be the better choice if, you know, the stores are looking to keep items together. I get it. But so many times I pull those pieces of tape off and there's just no helping taking the finish off. Even with Goo Gone, for this bowl you would need a gallon of Goo Gone. So I did peel carefully, but it did damage the surface, and that's why I got $18.52. I don't remember what I paid for this. I'm going to say under $5. Next up, beautiful quilted jacket, pink and black. This was, I'm going to call it an evening jacket, something where you dress up a little bit, maybe a cocktail party. This brought $18.20, and I paid $4.25. Okay, this next item, I'm waiting for the buyer to pay. I did put this on auction. Beautiful dog biscuit jar, and I did show it in a whole video recently. $118 was the finishing bid, but like I said, it's been about 2 days and the buyer has not paid. So hopefully they're just not realizing that the bid ended, and I did send them a message, and I'll probably go ahead and invoice them again after I get done making this video to see if I can get them to pay. If not, you know, you just relist it. That's just part of the business. Next up was a cute little vintage owl bank. I loved this owl. He had his key, which was so wonderful, because a lot of times the older banks that I find, I'm hesitant to pick up because the key is missing. Now I should look into if the vintage banks kind of have universal keys. You know, they're just a coin bank, so I don't think it's any big security risk, but $20 he brought. Did I say that already? And I believe I paid $4. Next up is a Nike dry fit men's polo shirt. I sell a lot of polo shirts. So whether they be golf or rugby, different brands, Nike is probably the most popular brand I find. Almost always do I pick them up. I love to find the ones of the larger sizes, 16, 17, and I paid $4.25. This next item, I was excited that it sold fairly quickly. I thought I'd sit on this longer. This is a World War II U.S. military bag, Combat Field Pack, $77.35. This was in really nice condition, and when I did the haul, I didn't realize that the shoulder strap to it was inside one of the pockets in the bag. So when my daughter Lisa was going to photograph it, and I saw the photos later on, I was thrilled. I was like, oh, you found the shoulder strap. She was like, yeah, it was in the pocket. So I was really happy about that. Next up is an Ann Taylor shirt, and it brought $16.17. Well, Ann Taylor is very saturated on eBay. I still pick it up from time to time, depending on what I can get it as my buy-in price, also depending on the style. This was a simple top in great condition, and I probably got this for $1 or $2. Next up is a belt that I found. Again, showed it in a whole video because it was really interesting. This belt was really nice quality, and it had mercury dimes embedded on it. So this brought $47.12, and it was by the company Martin Dingman. Next up is J. Crew, the GG pant. I do very well with J. Crew GG pant. I don't know if J. Crew is still making that style. It's kind of like a thicker legging. A lot of them have the center seam down the leg, and they almost have, to me, like an equestrian, you know, riding pant look to them. Not as thin as leggings, but super comfortable. The ones that really do well are the ones that have the zipper up the back. I find those sell even better than the side zipper, but either way, I pick those up if they're in good condition. And this brought $17.55. I think I paid $1. Okay, this next item I have had for, I'm going to say close to 2 years. This is Lennox. See, that's why I don't pick up Lennox. I know a lot of you might disagree with me, but Lennox generally is a very slow seller if it even sells for me. And this is proof. I might have even had these 3 years. This is a set of, I'm going to call them Christmas candlestick holders. I think they were candlestick holders. I'd have to look at it. They might just be figurines. $44.34 buyer paid shipping. Just a top, White House Black Market, $11. White House Black Market is a hit and miss for me, so I try to judge, but sometimes I'm sitting on a few of the items for quite a while. They do sell, but it takes a while for the staple pieces. If it is a piece that is very embellished or something you could really wear to, like, you know, a fancier occasion, I have more of a tendency to pick it up. Pottery Barn. Now here, this is 2 pillowcases that I have made the listing. I think I picked up 20 of these cases, and they're children's cases. So I don't know what my thinking was there to sell 2 at a time. I might switch this listing, just retake a photo or 2 and make them single listings, because most parents, just going to shift around, most parents looking for Christmas bedding for their children will want 1 pillowcase. So right now, the 2 of them together sold for $35.74. I think I paid $2 and change per piece, so I'm into it for $5. $35.74, a good return. But I think, again, they would sell quicker single. So I would probably put on a single for $20 and give that a try. I might even break up the lot of them. So right now, if I bought 20 of these, 10 sets, and now I have 9 sets left because I sold one of the sets, I might try like 5 and 4, you know, something like that, and break them up. Okay, a vintage chicken. Chickens! We love chickens. And this is just a little figurine, but he's very well painted. He brought $9 and I paid $2. Again, not a high profit, but when you have a store, especially with as many items as I have, I think it's good to keep your sales like really pumping. So sometimes I will do make offers when I have time, or I will set price points for my lower items and just cute little items to keep the store algorithm pumping. That's always a good practice. All right, another Pottery Barn. This is a pillow sham. This was Brody. A lot of the quilted shams have names and people look for them by the model name. So I try to always make sure to find out what the name is if the packaging doesn't say it or if it's pre-owned. And it brought $15.92. I believe I got this in Pottery Barn and I paid $2. Next item up is Double H, and these are men's, I'm going to call them Moto boots. Leather boots in men's or women's that have the harness ring, I think it's called, yeah, harness ring on them, get attention, and they do fairly well. The problem with these boots is I bought them and I forgot to look if the size was denoted. Sometimes, especially on leather boots, you really have to check that you can find the size. Very hard to sell footwear where the size is rubbed off or worn off. So these did sell $50.70. I measure the bottom outer sole and sometimes I measure the inner sole so that the buyer can measure a similar pair of shoes in their closet and be halfway sure that it's going to be the size we're guessing at. So I guessed at 10.5. I might run into a problem with this where the buyer, it won't fit the buyer. I am a no return seller, so we'll have to see how that works out. Next up are 2 items that the same buyer bought. Thank you so much for all of your support. They were the vintage Christmas ceramic light up tray. Did I say that right? Ceramic Christmas tree that lights up. And these are vintage. And I also sold the turtle bamboo wind chimes. So together $100.43. So the tree sold for $62.08 and the turtle wind chimes sold for $38.35 and buyer paid shipping. Now, when one buyer purchases more than one item, I do try to package together. Most times that can happen, but if it's a highly breakable item and something that's hard that might hit into it even in the package, I won't ship together. But 99% of the time, when a buyer has multiple purchase, I do package together and refund the overage to their account. And I thank them for their multiple purchase. Okay, and what did I pay for those items? I think the Christmas tree I paid around $5 and the wind chime $3. Those are guesses, but probably very close. All right, a Nike Thermofit jacket, $13.88. I think this was a half zip. Yes, half zip. I try to judge these Nike products because even though Nike is highly sought after, Nike doesn't bring the money for me. Now, if it's new, it will, or if it's like a 2X men's black zip-up jacket with a big swoosh, yes. But the normal half zip, I'm going to call them track jackets or things like that, they won't bring a lot of money for me, but sometimes I go ahead and pick them up because it's very easy to list. Next up is ECI, which I don't know if you guys are picking up this brand. If you look at ECI, I don't think it's on any BOLO lists. I could be wrong about that. This one brought $19.50. Now, if I can get an off brand or a lower end brand for $1 or $2, I do go ahead and pick it up if it's a good print or a pretty style. I think this was, yes, a maxi skirt and a floral print. So I said yes to that. Ralph Lauren shoes. I think these were a donation during COVID and even now after the main COVID influx, I'm going to say. I mean, we are still wearing masks out, we are still social distancing, but during the time of lockdown, friends and people that I knew were so gracious to give me donations, and that's how I listed, because all of you guys know I'm about no death piles. If COVID, God forbid, were to shut us down again, I have to say I have no death pile. So sometimes I purpose to have a death pile and I just can't accomplish that. I know that's really crazy for all of you guys that have a death pile. I cannot have a death pile. It is a flaw in my personality. I go out there, I purchase a lot of stuff, I put it away in a closet, and then I just can't handle it, so I list it. That's just me. But okay, so the shoes, $24.70, and I got them for free. And the last item, I'm going to butcher this name. I think it's French. Cremieux, C-R-E-M-I-E-U-X. Could that be right? I don't have my glasses. I think that's how we're spelling it. Pair of jeans, $14.87. They were men's jeans, and these I think I paid $4. So not a high profit, but still a profit. So those are the 20-something solds that I sold from Friday afternoon to Monday morning. Again, very slow. I'm going to say about 2 years ago on a Monday morning, I was shipping out, I'm going to say between 30 and 40 generally packages. And I have definitely had a slowdown, still making great profit, plenty to support myself. But would I like to see the sales pick up? Yes. Would I like to be shipping more breakables? No. All right, so I'm going to include footage here of Bob picking up my packages. All of my packages get scanned at the door. And can I just say that Bob and his wife are just lovely, wonderful people. It's just amazing to have friends like this. So Bob not only picks up my packages and does an excellent job and is so friendly, but both he and his wife save me all of their Amazon boxes and deliver them to my door. Could you ask for a better friend? Nope. So thank you to Tiffany and Bob. Appreciate you guys so much. You make my life so much easier. And hopefully one day I will be able to return the favor. Okay, so guys, that is the video for today, and I'm about to head out to get out there in the wild and see what I can find. Hopefully I find clothing of high-end, gorgeous quality in clean condition, and I don't come home with any big giant statues that are like paper-thin porcelain. All right, so thanks so much for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and as always, go out and get what's yours.